So yeah.
I'm just
So
grooving to the music.
sure, who wouldn't be? And it's pronounced your last name. How does it? Arnett?
It's Arnett Hart.
Arnett. Oh, because that. Okay, so you're doing something clever there.
Well, Arnett Hart, but you're always just burger to me.
I'm wimpy. Sean Hayes wimpy.
Anytime I think of a burger, I think of you.
Okay, so wait.
Yeah.
You mentioned the music. I want to give a shout out to the people who composed that music and basically gave birth to us and put this show together every week. And they work their balls off for us, and they're amazing. And that is Bennett Barbaco and Rob Amyarv. And he likes Amyarv from a company called Test Pattern Media. They composed the music, they put the show together. They're unbelievable. And of course, our illustrious producer, Michael Grant Terry, like the other fellows, is a workhorse, and we appreciate them so much and couldn't do this without them. And
by the way, also we have to give a little bit of a not a small, a decent sized shout out to Scotty,
my husband Scotty, who's he's like living with a genius bar.
I snuggle. I snuggle. I snuggle with my teddy bear every night before bed, and he's never heard that.
Sorry, this is why we don't have as many listeners. Because
I ruin everything.
So, Will, last week on the show, we had Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's like one of my idols. I live for astronomy and learning about like pop science and why we're here and all that BS. And
I love pop songs.
Pop science is what I said. Pop science. Yep.
What did I say?
You said songs.
Good.
Yeah, but Neil has a good voice. Probably, if we asked him to sing, he'd probably sing for us.
Sure, he would. Yeah.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite pop song?
My favorite pop song?
Yeah.
Probably Tub Thumpin'.
Not Total Eclipse of the Heart.
I get knocked down, but that and Who Let the Dogs Out are my two. This is not even a bit.
Welcome to the 90s. So Neil deGrasse Tyson was great. There was other stuff I wish I could have asked him. We didn't have nearly enough time, but he was nice enough to ask us. He's like, guys, if you want me back on, I'll come back on. So we might have him back on.
He meant it too, which is sometimes you can tell when people are like, I'd love to come and do it again. Thanks.
Yeah.
And then they're going to change their number and,
Right.
By the way, we should mention that Jason's not here today.
Right.
Because it's Friday and Jason never works Fridays. He never has.
Right.
That goes back to the Hogan family days. He never worked a Friday.
I think they created the Casual Friday, and casual men don't show up.
They did. Yep.
Right.
And that's what he calls his FU day.
Right.
And no, Jason couldn't be here. He had a previous engagement, family engagement. And so he couldn't be here, sadly.
Yeah, I know.
We love Jason.
But we love Jason. You can hear him every episode of SmartLess, though. He's the best.
You can hear him all the time.
You can actually hear him where he's not on SmartLess if you listen closely.
You can. He's getting his question ready about 2 hours before the podcast. You can hear him start.
Right. And now, Will, do you want to tell our people watching, maybe the person watching, who's on the next episode?
So next episode is somebody who's a friend of all of ours. So I knew that it would be fun having her on, and I loved surprising you guys with her because she's the best. Melissa McCarthy.
Yes, I was like blown away that you got her, and I was like, I'm such a huge fan, like everybody else. But she's little did you know, and you'll learn about this, that we were in a lot of the same places in Chicago at the same time, but didn't know each other, but in the same room.
Like there was a really good chance that you guys were in the same room.
Yeah, probably spoke to each other. I mean, it's
probably
wild.
Like, excuse me, that's my drink. You know what I mean?
Juice, because we were 18. It's a juice bar.
It was a juice bar.
But great guest, and she's fabulous and hilarious and super interesting.
Yeah, super interesting. She's not just a crazy funny performer and writer, but she's also a really great dramatic actor.
Yeah.
And she's the best, and she's such a fun, good sport.
So why don't we take a little listen to a clip of her on
you know what? That's a great idea.
Thanks, Will. Thanks, Will Arnett.
You know, you're like a stop clock.
Will Hartnett.
No, I don't love that as much. Well, but I guess with the heart, Hartnett. Yeah, that's true. All right, you win. Can you ever forgive me that I thought you were so good?
Unbelievable. Incredible performance.
Oh, God, you guys.
Loved it.
Jason and I, we saw you. We spent a minute. We had dinner one night and had lunch when you were in New York. And I think you were probably shooting that at that time. And
I think I was.
I didn't realize that you were doing that. And I was such a fan of that movie. I found it to be so moving. And Bateman's so jealous that you got nominated. It's all
Don't
he
tell
wants.
her this
He's
in the interview.
You can see, look how craven his eyes are. But
You should see the hate mail from Bateman I get. It's intense.
The voodoo doll's got pins all over it.
even though he cuts out the magazine lettering, you know it's coming from Bateman.
I know it's him.
No, the movie you're talking about in that clip is Blades of Glory, right? That you starred in?
That's right. That's right. And she wasn't in it, but I brought it up because I'm in it and I wanted to get the conversation back to me.
Sure.
And I'm glad you brought up Blades of Glory. So what a production
look at the clock. Look at the clock.
No. We've got a minute.
I don't think so. I think that's rabbit. What? Yeah, they said we have to wrap this shit up.
We have Will Ferrell's coming on the podcast soon. He's coming up at a certain point.
One of the funnier episodes.
Really, really funny. He's a great guy. So what else can we tell you? I mean, we should take some questions. That's a good idea. Let's do that, Sean.
Yeah.
Hey, Will, watching the NHL playoffs this year, how do you think the Leafs are going to do? Sean.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. Hockey.
I think the Leafs are going to do great. I love the guy's wearing a Blue Jays shirt and he's asking a Leafs question. It's so good. He's all Toronto all the time. I think the Leafs are going to do really well. I mean, this is one of those things like, in 10 days, I can just be proven absolutely wrong. They completely shit the bed, but I think that they're going to do great. I have a lot of faith in them. And I'm a huge Toronto Maple Leafs fan.
How did they do last year?
I can announce, I can say, because we haven't mentioned it, that we have on the show coming up, Brendan Shanahan, president of the Toronto Maple Leafs, is going to be on the podcast.
What's his nickname? Shanny.
The best, right?
He's the best. I never knew him. I got to know him in the podcast. I want to hang out with him.
He's so cool. Let's take another question, Sean.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Scotty.
Do you have any?
Scotty.
Sean.
When did you first realize you could pull off a great Larry Fine? Oh, thanks, Ronnie.
He actually doesn't like Ronnie. He just likes Ronald. Thanks very much.
Shully. I call him Shully, Ronnie Shully.
Yeah.
I got the part. The Farrelly brothers cast me in the Three Stooges, and they said go meet with Billy West, who's a great voiceover guy, to learn how to speak like Larry from the Three Stooges. And Billy West said to me, he said, if you ever get stuck and you need a quick reminder in your brain of where to put the voice in your mouth, he goes, I'm the voice of Ren and Stimpy, and basically Stimpy is just the voice of Larry. I go, that's brilliant. So I brought a bunch of clips with me from Ren and Stimpy to talk like Larry from the Three Stooges, and I ended up helping a lot. Hey, you two, quit horsing around, you two. You're causing it. Wait, what is it? Hey, you two, quit horsing around. You're disturbing my coffee break. Isn't that good?
You ever say that? That'd be such a great thing to just be at a table by yourself and just say that one day in a crowded restaurant.
Just
hey,
like
you're
that.
too quick to horsing around. You're going my coffee break.
Oh my God. Well, that's uncanny. That was really good.
No, it wasn't. Did you feel like you asked the smartest guy a dumb question, which you immediately regretted? That would be my fear.
Do they mean me?
Thank you, Blair. Yes, like when you're asking Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
When you ask him, or when you ask Stacey Abrams,
yeah,
or Mara Gay from the New York Times, you're like, boy, I hope this comes out okay. Because
yeah, I find myself like Jake Tapper. We had Jake Tapper on too, and he's like brilliantly smart. And I found myself stumbling over my question because as I'm asking it, I'm like, this asshole, meaning me, asshole is. He's probably like, who is this guy that is? And I'm like, so when you talk to politicians, and do you want to ask them about voting? Like, it was awful.
Anytime I got nervous with Jake, I just kept going, let's go to commercial, Jake. And he just instinctive. He's so used to it. He'd just go, and we're going to be right back after this break. And I would confuse them.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Were you comfortable in that spandex, Will? You mean this morning? This morning,
what about the top?
They mean Blades of Glory.
No, they mean the top you're wearing now.
The top.
You have an extended spandex, right?
Yeah, this is my Manx that I'm wearing right now. And
you're welcome.
Yeah, I did feel comfortable wearing the spandex when we were making the ice skating movie there. It was very freeing.
And you haven't changed your wardrobe since. It's always a part of you now, right?
I've never taken those off. It's just out of a sort of a superstition thing.
Yet you still had a baby. You still made a baby.
I'm going to say this. It's mealy down there.
Like the appliances. Next question.
Next question.
Sean, what will you miss most about being on Will and Grace? Literally miss the show. Oh, that's so nice. I think I'll miss the crew, the writers, the cast, everybody, mostly about the people that you get to work with every day. And Will Arnett, who we're speaking to with now, he's the guy in the other box. He was on the show, and
that's how we met.
That's how we met. Yeah. And hit it off. And but yeah, the people that were surrounding the show. What will you miss most about Arrested Development?
Yeah, same thing. Working with those people, having a lot of fun. Just so many. That time was such a great time. I just laughed. I laughed all the time.
That's what it is. You found something that you can make a living at, that you get to laugh at. And
every day. I'm sure you had the same experience. Like this. And every day when you drive on, or here when you log on and we're doing the show, whatever, it never feels like, oh, I got to do this ever.
So you don't see that from my face.
Is that how you're feeling?
No, I mean, I'm just asking, do you ever see that on my face?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Okay, good. Anyway, great.
Does
Next
it
question.
Look like I'm crying? Okay. Adriana, she asks, love the podcast. I've leaned so much. Well, you know what? It's time for you to walk on your own. I've leaned so much and laughed even more. Great trio.
You should switch legs. She should switch legs.
She should switch legs.
Now.
Thank you so much. We're glad.
Sweet.
It feels good knowing that there have been people. We've gotten some positive feedback on the show, and knowing that people like listening to it. Look, our goal was to always just do a show where we would talk to each other and bring people on who we thought were interesting and who could kind of enlighten us
and learn
a
from.
bit.
And
learn from, and do it in a way that we would do if we were just in a conversation at each other's house. So that's and we
get to ask questions like if we walked up to them on the street, like genuine questions that hopefully the listeners like yourself, the kind woman who just asked that, hopefully Adriana, that you would ask if you met them. So we feel lucky in that way.
So here's the sad thing.
We gotta go.
We got no more questions.
Okay.
Nobody wanted to talk to us.
Just another Friday for me.
Just another Friday. I know, but it's fun doing this. It's fun connecting with the peeps, right? Having a conversation with the peeps that we love. Yeah. And have you got a big weekend planned, Sean?
I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay, so tomorrow.
Hang on one second. I just got to talk to somebody about something really important. I do want to hear this is very important.
But it starts with brand cereal.
But the White Sox, I'll come and help you. But I want to the White Sox, and then I'll do the Black Sox, and we'll rearrange the whole drawer.
And then Sunday, I get ready for bed and I do it all over again on Monday. So you got all that right. Will Hartnett. It has been
not as fun as when I lived in the guest house with you guys.
I remember that. That is true. That is true.
I lived in Sean's guest house for a while.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Dark days.
It was fun. Okay,
it was a blast. I love you, Will Arnett.
Love you.
And we'll chat with you guys later. I think maybe next Friday. Mwah.
Smart.